Hi everyone, my name's Abe and we're going to be talking about areas between two curves today. So it's pretty simple. You know that you can find the area between one curve and the x-axis by doing something that looks like this. Of x dx. Yeah? So what we're really doing here, if you allow me to draw it, is something that looks like this. So let's pretend that point A is here, point B is here, and what we're doing is saying, well, this area down here that I've just shaded, that can be found if you can find this integral. Great. Alright, so how does that help in getting us an area between two curves? Well, it goes like this. Let's say we call this one f of x. Now, we know, let's say that there's, look, another curve called g of x. And it looks something like that. Yeah? G of x. Good. Now, I know that I can do the same thing with g of x. I can say, great, I want to find the area between g of x and the x-axis, between a and b. So a and b are here. And this g of x is going to be, and if we do this integral, it's going to find this area, right? The whole thing. So, now if I'm interested in the area between g of x and f of x, you'll see that if you take away the bit with the blue cross-hatching from the bit with the black, then you're left with this area, this bit, like that, in the red. Is that clear? So this red bit is what you're left with. So basically, what I was saying is this, that this red area A, this part, I can say that the area equals the area under g of x minus the area under f of x. So, g of x dx minus the area under f of x dx. And that's how you would find an area between two curves. Simple. So happens that with derivatives, it doesn't matter if you evaluate the integral and then minus them from each other, or minus the functions first and then evaluate the integral. So you can actually write it this way. From a to b, g of x minus f of x dx. That's the area. And to make myself clear, I'm pointing to that one. That's the area, that red area in there. So, that's that. Not too difficult, right? That part's pretty easy to understand. Now, I want to stress something, that it's always top curve minus bottom curve. So important that I wrote it in bold. So, you need to break it up if they cross. Now you know this already. For instance, if I ask you to find, say this is my function, and I would like this area and this area, and let's say this is from A, B, C, right? You know that you got to break it up. You need to find integral. So here, area is integral b minus a, and it's negative because you know that we're below. And then you got to add this to the integral between c and b of that, right? And that first part is negative because here we're under the x-axis. So if we have a scenario where we have an area between two curves and they cross, you need to switch the areas and you need to calculate each area separately and get the signs correct. As long as you have top minus bottom, it's always right. Notice that in this case, our top curve is actually the x-axis. So that's why I illustrated it with top minus bottom. If you like, the x-axis is also an equation, g of x equals 0. So that, very briefly, is areas between two curves. Hope you enjoyed yourself. See you in the next video.